We are back. So, if I have a look at the image, yeah, I feel like this is a little bit flat, this area. Still almost too purple as well. I think it definitely needs to be more that colour. So we could maybe add some more in. It just looks a bit too purple for my liking. I don't know, I just don't think purple is the right colour. Even here, it's like, I don't know if that purple is the right, it's a bit hard to know. Sort of is, sort of isn't. I think with this, I'm wanting to go more dark. So the dark needs to reflect sort of a lighter shade of this. But yeah, I don't think, so I think the goal today is to try to work out what that dark color is. It's like a purple, but with a bit of a different blue. So let's get so we've got our purple here, very light from yesterday, and I want to use this dark blue that's here, and just mix a bit of that in. I reckon that will, just don't think the other blue is really working. It's quite strong, this blue, so we don't need a lot. So I get a little bit of that going here. Yeah, I think that's the colour we're after. It's almost a bit too dark. Too much of it. Yeah, I think this is a better one. Looks a bit more like show you. I think that's the blue we're after. So it's very close, but I think so. If we just put it on here, well, we can try it on here first as well. So yeah, I think we can sort of get in here. So this is like a lighter version. So it's quite light. So it's interesting how much lighter it is and how non-blue it looks as well, to be honest. It's not quite dark enough. So get some more in. See how that. So that colour, which I feel, I don't know if it is the right colour, to be honest. I added a bit of that other, as I said, there should be that blue, but maybe it's more like this colour. I just think this is too purple. Could be a bit too dark. My liking. And the paint's still wet from yesterday. It's good. that is a bit too blue. I'm just trying on all different things. I think I like more of this colour there. So we're in the vicinity. Bluish looking colour, which I think would be quite nice. So I think there is a bit of red in that purple, but I just think maybe I was doing too much. So anyway, here's a completely different colour. It could be a bit dark, but let's have a look. I think it could be a little bit dark, this. Now, so the snow sort of tracks in about here, and then we reach into the sort of mountains. Again, we've got this sort of lines happening like this. Okay, so it could be a little bit. Yeah, I think it's definitely too dark. So just want to mix a little bit of that into. But like that colour could be maybe more suited for this mountain over here. Maybe we do that first. So we're going in here. I don't want too much on my brush. But I think we want to get this purple out of there. Make it more blue. Go around. It's quite a strong blue. Don't know if we really have that colour, but it is sort of like that. So I think we just got to keep backing it in. And then I really want to use this dark colour to come in. I just don't think I really have the right combination here of colours. And hopefully it's just wherever this purple is, I'll just make it rid of it. lines going down, like sort of creating a bit of a mountain sort of hillside. It's definitely more blue now. I don't think there is as much white, but we can sort of fix that up. I think that's alright, so we've got that. I think maybe we could use a different brush and get this fan brush. Pretty light, but let's see if we can like get some sort of, you know, snowy effect. Maybe it's a bit too bright. So we'll try this one. It's not quite white, it's just off blue. Just to create a bit of that snowy vibe. Just too much paint. Again, important to use the brush sort of at the angle of the mountain. I feel like that's creating some So we've got mountains sort of happening now. I think that's a bit of a nicer look. Now just up here, I could maybe add some depth. Be careful when you put the white. That's what our eyes are going to follow. Alright, so 2 white highlights. I think we could really get some of that white maybe at the top here. Like proper white. That's where the sun's going. Alright, so yeah, I think we could even be a little bit more like that, so we've got that strong line happening. Maybe do that one. Then go back to our dark. Really see in there. There's a bit of a more of a mountainous feel here. And similar to this, we just want to create those lines. You know, like where's those crevasses? Crevasse or like the ridges down. Just to draw our eye into it a little bit more. And I think this blue is a sort of like what we're hoping for. Just a bit darker on the underside here. Maybe create a ridge there. Yeah, it's like, what are we seeing? Where can we push the eye? Just trying to make some of our darkest strokes in this sort of area. Alright, so I think that's a little bit better. I think we could always go like proper white or some good highlights of white just there, which could really just elevate this. So I've got some nice white, fresh brush. And not too much is the key. Yeah, so let's really start to make it pop now. Should we go at the top? Just a bit slumming like this. Like missing some stuff there. It's not really that deep. You know, do we want to like draw our eye into this? So it's subtle. I think we can maybe do a bit more there and here. Alright. It's looking, we sort of want this to come like it's another sort of richness. Let's just get some sun on it. But we really got some, it's interesting, I've got some highlights almost around here in like a different mountain. So I wonder if we can add that into this. And like this line's almost actually meant to come up to here, to be honest, in the image. I wonder if we can sort of do that. And like it's meant to sort of have that sort of effect. And so I wonder if we can get our dark colour again. Just blend this in here a bit. Cut it in. It's really changed it now, hasn't it? So I like this sort of area, so maybe I can maybe we just need to push that back a bit, but looks a bit funky, doesn't it? So I think I need more of that yellow to come in here. It's really pushed it. Quite interesting. Here's a bit of a highlight at the top. I think that's probably make this a bit darker. Alright, so I don't know if I'm completely on that, but sort of has a bit of a interesting vibe. Yeah, so now we've got rid of that sort of purple. I feel like this is looking more coming down. So the colour that I'm sort of hoping for in this mountains on the left so also when I don't really know the colour. So I try to look to see what colour is sort of it's close to. And I think it is more of this colour. Yeah, wow. Okay. So I don't think we're that far off, to be honest. The colour. It is a bit of a lighter shade, but I think we need to get some of it in here, at least. And like, going over what we did yesterday. That's alright. I don't mind some of that. So it's going to make it a bit lighter anyway. And so if the snow stops here, it sort of starts around this section here. So like I don't really need to work much below because we're going to actually go a bit darker. I think it's meant to be at the sort of the bottom of 5, which is probably about there anyway. Yeah. So right, better just safe to make it go a bit lower. But it's like all right, get some darkness in. It's probably too dark. Looking at it, to be honest, but that's all right. Always fix it up. Just doing that. This is where I think there's the darkness. I should just say this blue, just sort of give us that backside of the mountain vibes. It's definitely interesting here. There's a lot of white, but there's also a lot of darkness. There's a lot of paint there I've done. So we're just going to do a mix, I think. Some really dark sections just here. I'll just get that in there a bit. Oof, got too high. Just can fix it. Alright. So we've got some darkness happening there. Sort of forms a line. About there. I think it's what comes in this. A lot of paint from yesterday on there, to be honest. Yeah, alright, so that's, I'm feeling like I've got a bit of a ridge forming here. I'll put some whites in there, some darkness. This is looking a bit awkward. Okay. Now we just want it not as dark, but still a bit darker over here, maybe. We've got some things forming. And put some darkness in. You know, I think just be a bit random here. And we can work around it. Got some red in there. Right, so that's sort of what we're hoping for, I think. Yeah, and then we sort of more purple, to be honest. It's pretty close. Yeah, weirdly, I think it's these dark bits which actually look better. Maybe if I can mix it in with some. I actually don't think it's dark enough now. I think that's more what it's like, is that alright, we've got some peaks, got some things falling. Again, we're gonna sort of go into about this area. I think I might get that colour ready. Again, more of this, and then create that, what I'm looking for. It's very similar colours though, isn't it? It's a lot of rock. It's challenging. Alright, so I think I'm going to start with this colour in there. I don't need a lot. It's this bluey, I reckon we can sort of, and the good thing is once you start having your colour, I think you can, like you've got those light colours, I think they're all very similar patterns. So it's quite a bluey blue. Could be a purple again, so maybe we need some red. So I'm getting some of the dark blue in there, some of the light blue. I just need some red now. Enough red. I think we could even do this, I have a suspicion, rather than the really bright red, it's like that dark red. Don't know what you call it. I just have a sneaky suspicion that's the colour we're going for. Don't know if it's the right colour. Let's have a look. So it's not the worst, to be honest. So this sort of sits. There's a mountain that sort of, I don't know, that one 13. So I think in here there's a mountain. There's a mountain that's sort of that. So all this is sort of meant to be this colour. And then it's a new mountain in there, I think is what we're going to do. So that goes, now the question is, where does that start? It actually starts below 5 in the 6, so maybe I've got it too high. So it's quite light. Bloody hell. I think I've ruined it. I don't know if this is the right colour. Looking at my phone, definitely needs to be darker. It's not the worst colour. So it does sort of sit in there like that. It creates the mountain range. It sort of does that, and then scene if you go a bit darker like that. Definitely a bit of a mix. Now I said that darker red, but it actually could be the other red. I'm getting the desired colour. Definitely more of that blue. Alright, so we've got this darkness in there. That's more the colour. I'll probably still need a different brush. So I'm gonna, it's like mountainous. It does creep into it a little, not a lot though. So I'm really gonna stay here. I'm playing around here. That's a good thing when it's wet. Sort of muck around. I don't think that's probably the right. It's great bit of texture though, maybe. Okay, so there we go into this territory here. So it sort of sits, it's just in that back area. So where is that? That really just sits in 13 and in 6. So 13, 6, so it really does sit in here. This colour, and then it's the mountains, the rest of it. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. We could probably, personally I think I've done it too dark, and I probably went too into it, but that's alright. So we're gonna try to like balance this out a bit. Let's do some really light. Maybe let's go over with some white once it's dry. But let's see if we can sort of set up the so it looks a little bit too like probably using too much of my brush. And the full things. It's just so much. Too much dark. So we want to get that, that darkish colour, which is fine. So we've got some mountains forming. Just Alright, now I don't really mind how it's gone a bit darker here because it gives us a bit of texture. I think that's important, so I may just do a little bit more. Like that, just trying to, and then we're gonna make some peaks out of that, maybe tomorrow, I think, because it is quite bright, so I think we've just got to get the darkness in. We've probably gone a little bit too dark in some aspects, but I think we can get scrape the white on top. So I think we can just leave that how it is, because then the next colour is this sort of new mountain. It's almost this colour, I think, is what we're looking for over there. Looking at it with this dark as well, so I need to mix some colours, maybe get it down, because I've drawn this, I just need to draw this mountain as well. Give me an indication. Alright, so it sort of starts at 5 and 8. 5 and 8. Sort of the start of a mountain. The highest peak is 11 and 12. Top of 7. 11 and 12. Top of 7. So it sort of sits there. So that's sort of our mountain. And then at 13 and bottom of 7. So it sort of ends there, so in a way, and then we've got some water and more mountains and stuff like that, so that's got that there, and it's sort of a bit of water in here. So that's sort of what we're dealing with. I think there's even more water just here. Yeah, so it's mountain, water, sort of. I don't think this mountain comes all the way here, to be honest. I think it sort of stops in there, and then we've got distance into there. Alright, so it's good to know sort of where to paint. So I only need this much colour, because then when we kit, also in sort of the 6th area, so sort of this area is where it starts getting that yellow, sort of this, it's not quite the right colour, but that sort of colour over here. So let's just sit down for a moment, I think. Yeah, I think that's looking too blue, what I just painted, that little V. But we'll get some. I think before we change it, I need to mix that dark green again. That's the base of the mountains. then that will direct me on what to do following. Yeah, because then I need to Right, well, let's just get mixing that darker colour. I remember it being a bit of a process. There's still some left over here, but I just don't think it's correct. So from memory, I think I used some of this green, but it was more of a brown. Alright, so start off with some of this green. Don't think you need a lot of it. In terms of the green, definitely red in it from memory. So we've got green, we've got that brightish red, I think some of this blue. It's very green-like at the moment. I might chuck in some of these dark red as well. That dark red gives it that brownie. That's a beautiful colour. So I use quite a lot of this dark blue, I think. That's sort of, yeah, that's so it's quite a darkish colour, this. But I think that's the is that the colour we want? Looks almost too green on that. It's a beautiful green, but I think it just needs to be a bit softer than that. I don't know if it's quite in that. It's definitely nice. I wonder if you can fade that in. I think that's too green. It's looking way too green, so it needs to be a bit bluer, to be honest. So I'm going to get some of my blues that I was using before. If I can bring that in. white, blue. Sometimes when I've gone too dark like this, I've got to just abandon the whole pile, otherwise risk of it going, just getting too big. So let's start again over here. Board is a bit. A bit lighter now. Looks a bit more sagey, you could say. I think it needs to be a bit more of this. That could be looking it's not that bad. It's very close. We just get it down and adjust on the fly. So now this front mountain is always going to be darker, and that's what gives us the depth. So you could say there's more white in this colour, in this green. It's always a good thing to remember. So just going to get it in here, feed it in a little. A lot of really paint stuff in there. Just mixed it. Got like dry paint specks in this colour. Not good. So because I've done my mountain colour, or mountain outline I should say, okay, so this is where we really need to be a bit more organised. So the mountains come down. Like there's definitely a mountain coming down in here. Comes down and then, so we've got this mountain going and then that sort of comes down in there. And then we have another mountain here. You know, and then another mountain sort of coming out like that, and then another one in here. So you want a few mountains like that, and then it gets a bit lighter. So we've got our colour down, sort of a bit like that. a bit haphazard. That's the way I like it. So we've got a bit of a it feeds up into that like that. So it sees lines like that. Okay, so I think it's a bit too green. Will be my assessment. But let's just come back here. So it's definitely a bit too green. Okay, so with that in mind, I think we can just sort of adjust the colour a little. We'll get some blue, get our whites, and then maybe just a touch of red, just to get it a bit purpley. I think we're missing that purple hue. Okay, got some red in there. Now that's really quite purple. Just too purple, too much red. Not ideal. It's such an odd colour. I wonder how this will mix. Going on. Is that going to be too dark? See, I think it's more that colour, and this sort of sits into the snow as well. So if we just get the darkness of this purpley haze. Let's see how it looks. So it sort of sits at the top. This darkness comes there and sits there, and it's sort of a bit like that. It's got a bit of the rock sort of we're seeing into it. I was just trying to get some variability in that now. Okay, and so we've sort of got this slant coming in a bit like that. fuck is that? They're getting somewhere. Can go a bit higher. Okay, so I definitely went too green down low here. So we're fixing it up. Good to not get too carried away before you ruin it all. Just trying to be a bit random here with my strokes. Could be a bit too much. It's a bit too crazy, to be honest. Definitely get this green off. Tell you what. Yuck. So now we've got that sort of going. This darkness here. I actually quite like this. I think this is the right colour for this mountain, to be honest. I was telling you about the purple I want to get there. I want it to be a bit more full of colour, that front mountain. It's definitely... So I think I've done too much white. It's just like not my... So if I just do, keeping in line with these, like with, sort of see where these rocks are going, and it's like, oh, we've got some lines going up there like that, like, let's use them, go in there, you know. It's almost a bit too dark, maybe. I think that's just because it's so white. actually just want to also sort of separate this a little bit. Like it was not working. Sink that in. So definitely taking on a bit of a different form. There is that rockiness to it. So I wonder, the colour is just a little bit, the dark, it's just a little bit too dark. But if we've got much lighter colour now, it's like, it gets a bit rocky up here. I just wonder if it's too liney. I hate when you can see a line like that. It's just not how we see. I'm just wondering if I can get the paint off this. But now, and we want it to be a bit of a, I've got that green that I had before. I don't really actually. Now I want to make that yellow. Got some beautiful yellow here though. You don't want to waste your oils. I've tried. Unfortunately though, you don't want to pick off all the hard paint. I'm just trying to get all that colour that I have before. We'll see, maybe I can use some of that. Okay, so I'm just really doing some, it's looking very green. Wonder if we add some white to it. I think it'll be too green. very subtle, very subtle. Need to add some blue. Let's just make it even more green. Oh boy. Add it to purple. So I'm trying to find the right colour for the lightness of those darker mountains at the back. Just a bit like this. Now, is that too green? It's too green, I think. So we can almost sort of whitish green, isn't it? That's what I confirm. So we've got this mountain where we can sort of really start shaping that, what it looks like. Looks like I've got something in here as well, a lighter. And then I think a bit like that. So it's not a lot of colour, but it's enough to just make that difference known, I think, and then we can build that into the snow. It happens like some highlights in there. It's like we start seeing that mountain structure, sort of making those connections with our eyes. Go a little bit too green. Alright, so actually it's subtle, but I think we can make that work. So I think, looking at it now, Mm. Yeah, I actually don't mind the darkness on the left. I think the blue in the middle in the V section is not very good. So I'm sort of liking this area. I think this dark can go down a bit more. We want to like build that lightness in through here. And then in there and sort of have this one go up. This needs to get pushed into that, I think. It's just like a nice big darkness. There's not really much to that. But we can maybe get a bit after just seeing. So let's try and get that light in there. Now, so my only criticism now is that this looks too white and too purple. So I think we need to, I just wonder if I need to, this is when you work on different sections at different times. Like I was like, maybe I should adjust this, but I think I need to get a better color. It's not too bad. I think it just needs to be a bit more purpley haze in here, and then we can sort of fix that in to that color. So I think we're on our way. I'll just mix some more. Still got a lot of green here. That's all right. Dark blue. Okay, so I was hoping for the darker colour, but I wonder how this will turn out. That's sort of what we're hoping for. And it just creates a bit more solidity in the colour. And I think that's probably what it really looks like, to be honest. Rather than shading with white, I think we need to shade with colour. I think, as much as we can use white, I think it creates a bit of a fake impression. Now, I know that this sort of goes in there and goes up like that. That's sort of what we're going to go there. But I quite like that colour. I think that's sort of what we're after in reality. Mm. And then maybe use the white as like a way to create the rising sort of hills and peaks. It's quite a different colour around there, so I'm just going to give it like that. Alright, so it's quite a lot of colour going down. Take a photo, have a look. And so I think it's this white purple that I don't really like, which I'm trying to, I think I was probably using to mix. So I need to get more of the, it's more of a yellowy version of that, whitey yellow version of that. I'm really not a fan of this blue. If we can try to numb this out. Mix it on the, I think that's a little bit better. Alright, then we can get that sort of. Oh, alright, so. It's definitely coming along. I like how the darkness has pushed this mountain back. Like we still need to work on some of the texture of this. This is sort of working. I don't know if it's the right color, but I need to, before I do anything else, I need to get a new, maybe get a different color. I think this could be a little bit too green. Should be a little bit more yellow, if anything, but maybe not. I think once it dries, we get the white down. Who knows? I also like how this has sort of been pushed back a bit. I'm still not a fan of this line. We'll have to work on that a little bit, but I like how this is sort of taken a bit of a shape. But it still looks a bit awkward, to be honest. And it could be as simple as this. But like, I don't think this white is working. Maybe if we that's already looking a bit better. So though I liked that shape, in the next instance I sort of have taken it away so it sort of flattens it out. And then if we put a bit of darkness in here, It's really gonna like be like, okay, that's the, where's that line going? And then we can sort of attack it tomorrow. So I think that's it's just a layering of colour, I feel, never ending. But I think we'll leave it there.